Robot Dreams comes to us from Neon Studios, based on the graphic novel by Sarah Varon. And yeah, get ready to hear Earth, Wind, and Fire's September, because you're going to hear it a lot in Robot Dreams. Written and directed by Pablo Berger, who did Abracadabra, and some other films. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work. And I'm going to tell you at the top of this particular review that if you want to see this animated movie and you like the trailer and you thought it was really vibrant, it is, and you thought it could be moving and humorous, it's both of those. Do get ready for the fact that basically there is no goddamn dialogue. There's reactions, there's a couple, yes, but there's no credited voice actors on IMDb. Now, there is in the end credits, but I'm just basically going to talk about the plot of the movie that involves Dog living in New York City in the 1980s, sometime in the 1980s. 1980 to 1989, I don't goddamn know. It could be a Love Lies Bleeding alternate universe where Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien are animated and doing weird shit in New York City. Except they're not. Neon Studios did this, not A24, but I love me some A24 and Neon Studios films, and why not give a shot to a special screening of Robot Dreams. Now, I saw this trailer and thought it looked pretty goddamn cool. I was seeing teasers, I was seeing stuff before some movies. I was really excited. I never thought this thing would actually come out in my area, and when I saw that it was playing just a couple hours after I was done working, I decided to get some snacks, kill some time, and sit down and watch it. There were 4 other people in that screening. Really want this movie to gain a following. So you have Dog in New York City, as I said. He's lonely. He has microwavable meals. He plays Pong. He's just living a lonely life. Oh, yes, he lives a lonely life. This is years before Ace of Base were ever even thought of or broke out on the U.S. circuit. So he sees an infomercial about a robot friend companion. He gets it, puts it together. It's all great. Ding! Robot has, basically reacts to a lot of shit that Dog does. And there's a lot of sweetness about this. They dance to September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Other stuff, they play around the park. They just have a bunch of fun. Like, Dog and Robot are inseparable. Dog has a friend. Robot has a meaning for living because he is a companion. That's the whole point of this whole thing. Also, there's no humans in this world. At least that I saw. It's all animals. Something that kind of reminded me of Duckman. Except this was much, 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 much better animated and also funny. And also it wasn't fucking Duckman. So anyway, Robot and, Dog, they're just having fun. Great stuff. It's all vibrant. It's all sweet. And then a certain incident happens that causes them to go their separate ways, like their journey. And then they must find a way to get back together. Certain obstacles keep getting put in the way. And throughout this, we get some Robot Dreams. In a film called Robot Dreams, I know, I am absolutely shocked. And from there, we have an animated movie that is appealing to kids, but I say is more skewered towards adults. There is enough, violence and darkness in this particular thing that some kids might be turned off. There's some good music that will appeal more to the adults, and a great soundtrack, I do want to say. And it has a nice theme to it, has a nice story. There, I'm sure, will be people that will get upset at the inclination of possible LGBTQ stuff. Oh no, oh no, oh no, let's clutch our pearls and get upset. That's pretty much right there. It's right there on the tendon. Implied, but not beaten over the head. Pablo Berger does a great job here, and also Sarah Varon's name does actually get put into this particular movie, just signed on a particular package, which I thought was a nice little touch. And it's very nice. It's very well animated. The dream sequences are very well done. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's about maybe 95 to 97 minutes. And it has just a nice pace to it. It's also very sad at times. And you really feel for the fact that these two do care about each other. They have a friendship, a bond. And it's just really, really nice and sweet. And I encourage you guys to check this out. I don't know how much of a release it's going to get in theaters before it goes to digital. If you don't get a chance to check it out in theaters, check it out on digital. Support filmmakers like this, because this is actually one of the bright spots of 2024. And believe me, film needs a lot of bright spots in 2024. Neon Studios knocking it out of the park once again. They don't have the perfect track record, no studio does, but when Neon Studios hits, they absolutely hit well. So, great stuff, great expressions on the characters' faces, the animation, vibrant, beautiful, and you could tell it was painstakingly well done. It was very, very nicely crafted, and just great stuff. And the whole September Earth, Wind, and Fire song is kind of like a, a way to like bridge the whole thing from beginning to end, and the music in general is just really beautiful. So yeah, it's a beautiful movie, well done movie, funny, emotional, especially. It doesn't really pull any punches, except it keeps the pace breezy and light enough. So I'm going to get into spoilers. That's your warning. In theaters or digital soon. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. So Dog and Robot go to the beach, and because he's a robot, he basically ends up rusting. And because Dog doesn't have a repair kit, he decides to go get it. The beach gets closed. So he's laid up on a blanket. This is after they had spent some time together. He put a blanket over him after they had played some games. They had done some stuff, and you treat him like an equal. And also, I like the different animals and everything, and the expressions, and just the grunts and stuff like that, which I thought was really, really nice. And Dog tries to get into the beach, tries to rescue Robot. Unfortunately, he keeps getting turned away, even to the point where he gets arrested. Robot is not upset. I mean, he's upset he's not there with his friend, but he's not upset at his friend. And then, basically what ends up happening is he's stuck there pretty much through, like, the late fall to winter to early spring, and into just the very end of spring till we get towards summer. And he experiences some dreams, such as a rowboat with a few rabbits that comes up that's having a leak, and he gets revived by them, gets some oil, jumps over, goes to see Dog, and Dog isn't answering, all this weird stuff's going on, and it turns out to be a dream, and they're actually using the paddles to hack one of his legs off so they can take one of his toes and plug the boat, and then take off. So yeah, he's pretty much messed up by that. Dog is naturally upset, does everything, the aforementioned arrest, all the stuff that's going on. And then we get to later on in the winter. Dog decides to make some friends by going on a ski slalom, sledding thing, trip, and that basically he has 2 anteaters to get upset. So see, Raul Julia was very right and overdrawn with the memory bank. That is a so deep it's practically to the bone for MST3K fans, and if you get that, I love you guys. And that's a great scene. That's a great sequence, by the way. The animation really just popped there. And Robot keeps having some dreams. He even has one dream at one point where he manages to get back to see Dog, and sees that Dog has another companion. And also on Halloween, Dog sees what looks like Robot having another companion. Like he got free, but he couldn't get to him. It was a kid in a costume. And actually, that was a pretty good scene right there with the Halloween stuff. So, yes, Robot has this idea that this terrible stuff could be happening. There is a nice fourth wall break during the winter scene where he pops out below the frame and goes around and spins it around, has a Wizard of Oz-like experience. It's like a Wizard of Oz backdrop. There's a bunch of singing flowers. Really, really beautifully done. Great music there. And set basically over the course of a year. Christmas comes and goes. Dog even put a note on his fridge. June 1st, go get Robot. I don't know why at any point he couldn't have just snuck in like one guy ended up doing later. A guy was searching for scrap metal. But before that, a bird shows up. And the bird basically decides to try and make a nest and everything. And, Robot sees these birds grow up. One is kind of a little different, but he's able to do this whistle, whistle September to an extent, and that gets the bird to understand and flap its wings. They all fly away, even though the bird doesn't want to leave him. That's a very sweet moment, actually. It got me. I'm trying not to dwell on that, because I don't know why I'm crying at a goddamn robot dog movie, but nevertheless, it's really, really beautifully told as far as the expressions. And then, during this, Dog ends up meeting a character named Duck while he's trying to do some flying. Has a couple dates. Things seem to be going good. Then he's unable to get a hold of Duck. Duck moved to Europe and left a postcard and everything. Well, that's terrible. Just ghosting him like that, moving to another country. I bet girls do that, believe it or not. I think it says a lot more about me. At least I'm not like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But you know that story. You get it. WrestleMania 15, his wife divorced him. Figure out why. So that being said, the scrap metal part is pretty haunting. He gets taken away on a guy's wagon Somehow Dog couldn't move him off that blanket, but this guy was able to pick him up and put him on the wagon. He was able to jack him up, I guess, and put him on the wagon because he had a little jack-up thing for the fence. He sells him. These scrapyard guys, father and son, basically beats shit out of him, and he powers down. Later, a raccoon type, I actually thought it was somebody in a tanuki suit, shows up and basically says, basically finds, some piece of scrap metal, but then finds the robot parts, finds robot's head, all this stuff, and pieces them back together. Eventually, having to basically take an extended version of a vacuum leg and make another leg for him, and he powers him but with like an 80s boom box, which I thought was really creative and everything. Having used I think it's 8 or 10 D batteries, which, yes folks, that's how many batteries those damn things took. But all this, the music's playing, it's beautiful, and we're near 4th of July. Things are going good. And Dog ends up finding another robot companion that looks kind of like the Clamp, kind of like Clamps in Futurama, except without the anger. And so these dreams are happening. Robot ends up seeing Dog after celebrating 4th of July and living with this character Rascal in the Tanuki suit, as I call him. And he's taking care of him. He's treated him right. He hasn't treated him badly at all. But he still longs to be back with Dog. He sees Dog with the friend robot, the pal robot, I believe is what the name was on the label, and starts playing September on the box. And he sees him, and Dog still, even though he loves, even though he likes his pal, there's some hand-holding, all that stuff. That's something that him and Robot did, and that's, where the LGBTQ allegory could come and people could freak out. And then basically, playing the September part, this is where it actually gets beautiful, because you see both of them, their eyes are welling up, and actually it's very nice, because they remember all the good times. But he also realizes that Rascal has been very good to him and stuff like that, and, Dog is still very good. They live, in the same city. They could always reunite. There's one reuniting, like, oh, it's Dog and Robot, they're reunited, and then it's a dream. Oh, fuck you, Robot Dreams, you got me. You got me. And then he decides to stay with Rascal. But we do one final scene where they're doing this dancing. Because earlier in the park they did a dance, spinning around, stuff like that, to Earth, Wind, and Fire September. They do another one, split screen. Beautiful way to wrap up the story. And there you are. There you are. That's Robot Dreams. Why did this movie get to me? Exactly. Those who have seen it, why did this movie get to you? Did it get to you? Anyway, A+. It's great. It's fucking great. Possibly one of the best films of the year. I think it might be. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.